Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Uncensored Women of the World podcast. I'm Sarah, your host. This is a very special podcast episode. I got to sit down and speak with Samuel, my friend, CEO of SustainMe, based in Uganda. I've done work with Samuel in the past. I was a volunteer for about a year for his organization in the virtual space. And I cannot say enough good things about Samuel. He is just a wonderful person who is doing amazing things to help not only just women in the world, but communities. So Samuel Wanyagera, he is the founder and CEO of SustainMe. SustainMe is a nonprofit based in Uganda. He grew up in a poverty-stricken community, which he'll discuss in this podcast, where women and children were treated as second-class citizens. Women in the community, as he grew up, saw them struggle and had a hard time providing for their families. So due to the situation and his observation growing up, Samuel committed to starting SustainMe. And he helped change the lives and continues to change the lives of women and family throughout Uganda. And to date, SustainMe has reached over 6,000 lives through financial access, skills, empowerment, education, just a plethora of ways that SustainMe helps contribute and give back to the community. It's an honor to know Samuel. He is not only just a dedicated hard worker to building his community and helping others, but he's just very selfless in everything he does. And he's just not only an excellent community leader, but he's someone that has many admirable traits to improving humanity. So it is a pleasure of mine to introduce you to Samuel in this podcast. And introduce you to SustainMe, which I encourage you to support. He shares not only his story, but how you can contribute to helping his organization from anywhere in the world. And without further ado, enjoy the podcast. If you wouldn't mind, please hit that like button and subscribe button and enjoy. Samuel, it's great to connect again, and jumping right into things with you. Can you provide a little bit of background as to what inspired you to form SustainMe, and what exactly does SustainMe do?
Thank you so much, Sarah. It's good connecting with you. My name is Samuel Wanyagira. I'm the founder and CEO of SustainMe. I was inspired to begin SustainMe because of my childhood story. I grew up in a community which was poverty-stricken, and growing up as a child, I did not have enough as a child because my mom couldn't provide for me, and my dad wasn't providing for me really equal enough. So as a child, I grew up struggling, for the basic needs. You have no clothing, you have no beddings. It was really a difficult life. But also looking at the women in the neighborhood and the children, they equally lived a struggling life. So my inspiration was that when I grow up, I want to make a difference, that I can give women, mothers, just like my mother, an opportunity to be able to own a business, because my mom never owned a business, and women in my communities never owned a business. So it was only the man who was earning an income. Yet women had to provide for their children. And it was worse when a woman lost a husband. She was left just wondering the next step of her life. So all my dream was, if I have an opportunity, if I grow up, probably go to school, I'd want to help women back home.
So you knew from a young age then that you wanted to do what you wanted to do.
I wanted to, as I said, growing up, my life as a child wasn't the best. So it was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I wish that I would have a good life as a child, but my parents wouldn't provide that for me. And my mother would struggle to provide food. She didn't have an income. She didn't earn any money. Actually, my mom didn't earn any money as I was growing up because she didn't have skills. She didn't have access to capital. Banks were very far, and men were dominant in my community. Women were treated as second-class citizens. So really, yeah, that situation wasn't good for me. I knew I needed to do something to make a difference, probably when I grow up and when I have an opportunity. And that's how SustainMe came to be. When I had opportunity, when I had grown up, that mind, that vision kept in me, the dream kept in me. Yes.
That's such an honorable story, Samuel. Thank you for sharing that. And so from where you started a few years ago till now, what has changed? What has changed in the community and with SustainMe? How many women have you helped and continue to help?
Actually, yeah, thank you, Sarah, for that question. My story began way back, I would say around 2013. 2013, and when I began with 5 women. I had finished school and did some work where I earned $100. So I had saved $100 with me. So I said I needed to really invest this money in the women. So I began with 5 women who each received an amount, equivalent to around $13. I mean $22, which they used to invest in their businesses. So as I gave them $100, the 5 women, I also gave them skills, business skills. So I was able to see their business thrive, and they were able to provide food for their children. So I knew this model was one of the best models, which would really bring transformation in the lives of women. So from 5 women, we've been able to serve over 1,000 women.
Wow.
1,000 women, and touched over 6,000 lives, because every woman at her background, she has around 10 children to take care of.
Wow.
So when you support one woman with a business and a startup capital, you are helping 10 more lives behind her. So through our journey, over 6,000 lives have been touched by our work. And we focus majorly on providing women with opportunity to access finances and skills. Finances come in terms of seed.
Excellent. Yeah, I always see the incredible pictures. I see the incredible pictures that you have of your trainings and then of the business
Thank you.
too. And I absolutely I love it. And you can tell in the photos that their businesses are just thriving and they love what they do. It's very inspiring.
Sure. Yeah, thank you so much for loving our photos. We love photos too, because we love to share the story with the global community. Yes, so pictures are really beautiful
As
for
far
us,
as
and they encourage us to keep up doing what we do.
sorry, for a moment there, it cut off. So as far as the women in previous classes that you've helped with the trainings and education that SustainMe provides, as far as mentors go, women that have gone through the course or have gone through classes, do you find that they end up going to help others in the community?
Thank you. Oh yes, because the need is so big, so we really don't have the resources to train every woman. What we do is that we encourage women who come through our programs to go back and share what we have taught them with other women in the communities. For example, we have a woman called Dorothy. Dorothy came through our program like 3 years ago. But Dorothy, when she went back, because she acquired both business and vocational skills, she has been able to go back to the community and then teach other many girls about sewing and business. So she's combining business skills and vocational skills to teach the young girls and women in her community to acquire these skills. So they are doing good. Yes, so we have a number of women who are going back and support other women.
Excellent. So that answered my next question, which was, how does entrepreneurship and helping women specifically help communities? And you basically answered that in the last two questions,
Yes.
because it's you train one woman and they go and 10 other people get that additional education too, and it just spreads. It's beautiful.
Sure. Sure.
So what type of classes
Thank
and
you.
courses do you offer in SustainMe, and what new experiences have you provided for some of the women that have attended in Uganda?
Yep, thank you. SustainMe runs a 1-month business course. So all women who walk into our doors have the opportunity to have a 1-month business course. After 1 month training, the women receive a business certificate and also have the opportunity to go through a graduation.
Excellent.
Through the 1 month, we cover quite a number of things in that 1 month course.
So Samuel, you cut out for a second. Could you just answer that question again, because your answer got cut off?
Yes, I'm happy to do that, please. So SustainMe runs a 1-month business course. So every woman who walks in our doors have the opportunity to at least have a chance to attend a business class for 1 month. After 1 month business training, the women receive a certificate as well as graduate from the program. So our business training covers quite a number of things, from financial management, record keeping, marketing, customer service, business positioning. Because a number of women here have not gone to school, so a number of them don't keep records. Record is something that is really unheard of. And when you ask them, hey, do you keep records? They said, yes. Where do you keep records? They say, in my head. So they never write down.
Oh.
They live on memory. They really believe in memory.
Yeah.
Memorizing. Yeah, but sometimes the memory only stores information for a short while and then they forget.
Yeah,
so our
sure.
business training ensures that they're able to really undergo all that training, covering marketing, record keeping, financial management, so they're prepared to move to the next step of transformation, where they're able to really start up their businesses with the skills they have attained through the training.
Excellent. So you touched on education and training, and we know education is key to growth and development, as you mentioned, creating more opportunities, as you mentioned also. So how is the education system in Uganda, in your opinion, and what things does SustainMe do to help with education that, like what you had mentioned, some individuals don't have education. So what specifically does SustainMe do to kind of fill in those gaps?
Sarah, I lost you a bit. You were not a bit clear. Would you repeat that question, please?
Absolutely. So education, we know education is the key to growth, as you mentioned, with development and creating opportunity, as you also mentioned, within a community. How is the education system, in your opinion, in Uganda? And what things does SustainMe do to help with education and to kind of fill in the gaps?
Hello, Sarah, do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I had lost a bit, but let me just pick it up from there a bit. Sure. So our education system is quite good, but only that it is more theoretical. They teach our schools teach more theories than practical. But also given the fact that a number of women come from poor backgrounds, they never go to school. So what do we do as SustainMe to fill this gap? We come in through here and ensure that at least every woman has the opportunity to access education. We call it adult education. And through here, we use more of visual aid materials, because if you go to theory, the women won't pick you up. So we come through with more of pictorial training, pictures, to help to guide the women and help them to understand. So also we do follow up our education with another program called mentorship. So we don't just teach women and leave them there, but after the training, we follow up each and every woman with mentorship, where we help the women to put into practice the skills they have learned through our business training programs or classes. So mentorship is very vital in ensuring that the skills they have learned are transferably put into practice, so that the women are able to really do their businesses sustainably.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. So I know you have I was lucky enough to proudly serve on the Global Ambassador program that you guys have last year. So would you mind telling our listeners a little bit about the Global Ambassador program and what the volunteers do and what other ways people can be a part of the SustainMe mission?
Absolutely, I'm happy to share about the Global Ambassador program. So we do have a small project or program called Global Ambassadors. And Global Ambassadors Network is a network of passionate people around the world who are willing to make a difference while at home. So you don't need to leave your home, but while in your home, you can contribute to transforming lives of women and families while you are, wherever you are. So with this program, we believe distance cannot limit you participating into transforming the world. Distance is not a limitation in making a difference. So when you join our Global Ambassadors Network, you get the opportunity to meet other Global Ambassadors. And we do have monthly get-together, monthly meetings where we plan together, set objectives on how we are going to help SustainMe go ahead. And also we do plan projects, for example, fundraising projects, social media projects that we work on together as the Global Ambassadors Network. So there's a lot of things that we could do. If you're good at social media, you can help out social media. If you're good at website designs or website updates, blogs, still you can contribute something. If you're good at fundraising, you can still be part of the Global Ambassadors Network. So quite a lot of things that could be done. While you are at the comfort of your home, you can really still commit small time every month to support our mission. So overall, Sarah, that is really partly how the Global Ambassadors Network works and is helping to transform communities here while you're at home.
Excellent. Yeah, I had a wonderful experience being on it last year. Before my life got a little bit too busy, I absolutely was thrilled to be a part of that. It was a lot of fun, especially working on like the brochure and seeing all the stories of everybody that was affected by attending the program. It's just so great. So on to a few personal questions. So who has been the greatest mentor in your life?
Thank you. I would say my greatest mentor has been my mom. My mom pushed me a lot, because even this organization would not be here if I had not looked at my mom's life. We wouldn't be around here. But my mom, looking at my mom's life, what she was going through and how she really endured all the hardships and stayed back home to take care of us and my siblings, that she laid the foundation for me to be able to achieve my dreams, to be able to help other more women in the world and Uganda. Yeah, so I would say mom is really greatest icon in my life.
Beautiful. And what
Yeah.
is the greatest piece of advice anyone has ever given you?
I think it was that Samuel, you need to get started with whatever you have. Don't wait for the whole world to get behind you to make a difference. You
Oh,
can
I
make a
like that.
difference in your community with whatever resources you have. And I was able to actually get a bicycle. You know, bicycle.
What was that?
During that time when I was beginning SustainMe, I used to ride the bicycle to go and meet the women.
Yeah, the bicycle. Okay, you rode a
Yeah,
bicycle to go and meet them?
yeah. When I was starting the organization,
Yeah.
because I didn't have the resources, I didn't have the money, but
Wow.
also our land here is hilly, is terrain. You have to go through mountains. So sometimes it will,
Whoa.
it would feel hard and difficult with our bad roads. When it rains, the road is sliding, it is muddy. You have to fall off sometimes. But that was a good advice.
That's
You have to get started.
dedication. Yeah,
Yeah,
dedication, sacrifice. I love that. I really like
exactly.
that piece of advice. Don't wait for anyone to
Uh-huh.
pursue your goals. Just go ahead and do it. Don't care about
Do
what
it.
people say or anything
Exactly.
like that. I love that. So
Exactly. Yes.
in your life, and this can be through, I mean, through forming the nonprofit or anything in life, really, what has been the most challenging time in your life, and how did you overcome the challenge?
I think my biggest challenge, um, I wouldn't say a challenge, but I would say probably challenges sometimes are opportunities that
I like
we go through. But it's sometime when I began the organization, I felt like I wasn't going that far because there were no resources. The need from the women was huge,
yeah.
and I had no support. So many women would sign up, come to the office, sign up, line, that they need support. Someone will need the skill, someone will need startup capital. But myself, as someone I was just starting, and I didn't have the resources. So you'd keep them on the waiting list. They stay on the waiting list for a long time. But because they really have no help elsewhere, they would wait on you to deliver the support. So women would take like 5 years or on the program waiting
Wow.
for support. And when support comes, it comes in small number. So you need to keep keeping them with hope. So challenge was to really keep their hope up that one day you'll be able to get the help. But that's an opportunity because it pushed me harder to look for more friends, to look for more networks so that we could have more support, to have more women empowered. So that was one of the hardest time where I found out,
Yeah.
because they thought somebody's here to help us. Now he's not able to help us. Why is he here? So that was my challenge, really.
Wow. That must have been really, I mean, a challenging time, because it's
Yeah.
like you want to help, and because of the situation, I'm sure that really, really like lit the fire for you to get the ball rolling and to network and get out there and
Yeah.
to build where
Hmm.
you are today.
Sure. Yeah, that was that difficult time really because you'd wake up to come to the office, you find the women there.
Yeah.
I have no food. My child has been sent home. I want to begin my business. I have no capital. So you hear all the problems from the women, but then your hands are tied. You can't do much to
Right.
help, but you have to keep showing up that you could be able to do something to help those families because at that time you are their only source of refugee and source of hope.
Yeah. You were like the lighthouse.
Exactly like the lighthouse.
Yeah. Wow, that's
Yes.
really, really inspiring. And that speaks volumes of your character and leadership because you kept going, and that's what a true leader does through the difficult times, through the good, through the
Mm.
bad. You still
Yes,
stand strong with your pillars. So
exactly.
kudos to you. Wow.
Thank
And
you.
what advice would you tell others who are inspired to start their own nonprofit like yourself?
Yeah, thank you, Sarah, for that question. Yeah, the advice is simple. I think for me to anyone who is looking forward to starting an enterprise, a social enterprise, a non-profit, and this would be the advice. You need to go into something that you have passion on. If you're looking at starting up a non-profit, you must be passionate about what you want to start, because it is passion that keeps you in there even when things are hard. If
Sure.
you don't have the passion, you'd certainly move out and say, no, this is not the right place for me. So passion is number one. And for me, passion kept me going because I wanted to see a life of a woman and her children improved. I wanted to see a woman with a business. So I would be fired up every day. Whenever I would see a woman whom I help to begin a business, able to begin a business, and she's able feeding a family, I would be happy. Even if I didn't have food, I would say no, food will come, but she's happy at least. So passion is number one. But also the other thing is the other thing I would give is that you must show up. You must show up every day. Show up to that, to that non-profit. Show up to the people you're supporting, the beneficiaries. Show up to the client. Support them even if you don't have. So you must show up. When you show up, ideas come. When you show up, you get to work on projects. When you show up, networks show up. So you have really to show up regardless of the situation. Yes, that would be something I really want to advise any social entrepreneurs, any people, passionate people
Yeah.
who want to really do something to change the world.
It's almost as though you show up like with what you said, you show up, you do what you're passionate about, helping others, and everything else kind of falls into place if you continue to push forward.
Exactly. Exactly.
Excellent. And then also, Samuel, how can our listeners contribute to Sustain Me in other ways if they're unable to join the Global Ambassadors Program? What are like ways they can contribute or donate or even volunteer if they were interested about coming to Uganda?
Hmm. Yeah, interesting. Thank you. Thank you for that question on how people around the world can contribute to our mission. Our mission is broad, and we really invite everyone to be part of it because, the world, women rule the world. So we really must protect and nurture and take care of the women in all aspects of life. So a number of ways you could be part of it. One, you could join our social media. We are on all channels, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. You can go there, follow us, help to repost our pages, help to like our work, share our work with your network. Then two, you could help us spread the word within your network, with your family, with your colleagues. Because remember, when you share about our work, when you spread the word about SustainMe, you are helping to improve the lives of women. Many people are going to know how women in Uganda and East Africa are struggling. And then they could be able to help through your network. Yeah, so network could be able to help. Then the other way also you could help is we are now working on building a women's center, and yeah, Sarah, you know about that, a
That's okay.
home for the women where we want power is back, where we want the women, a one-stop center for the women where they'll be able to have all the skills they need, and it will be a place where women can have meetings, a place where women can have medical attention. Um, so to have all these kind of things we would want for the women. So we are looking on that women's center. So you can be part of our fundraising efforts, to raise funds. to build the Women's Center. We have already raised money and bought land. So now we are raising money to build the facilities. So you can be part of this noble cause and be part of the people who will be able to build the Women's Center and have your name put on the stone of people who lay the foundation of the Women's Center. There are quite a number of things. So you can also become part of our guardians. Guardians are people or donors who make a monthly donation to our work. When you make a monthly donation, you become a guardian to our organization. Monthly donors are very good people because they help us to keep helping women every day, month in, month out. So you can be part of that also.
Wow.
And then we can see that our mission is attained.
Excellent. So many different ways
Yes.
to contribute. Everyone out there listening, get on that.
You can also, actually, Sarah, you can also choose to come to Uganda and volunteer physically. Yeah, now Uganda is good, Uganda is safe. You can come through and make your contribution physically. Visit the women's groups, visit the women's home, help women build businesses, get practical, hands-on by helping the women really count their books, count their money, plan their budgets, have business plans. So you can really come on the ground and physically share your skills and experiences with the women in the community. That's also an opportunity which is available for all volunteers all over the world.
Excellent. So everyone out there listening, go and check SustainMe out on all social media platforms. Check out their website. Samuel, it was a pleasure speaking with you. Again, glad to catch up. And
Thank you.
have a great night.